Test, 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 and we are good to go. Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Hope you guys have all been having a good day. We all know that Bitcoin had a monster of a move today, so right now we're going to be talking about that. Some of the stuff that happened in the stock market with Nvidia and more news coming around there. And then of course some stuff going on with the hurricane in Florida because that could have an impact on some insurance companies of all things, right? So, hope you guys all had a good day. For now, let's kind of talk about what happened today because I have to say, guys, it was pretty interesting. Just the way the news broke and what the judge said about the SEC here, it was definitely entertaining to say the least. So now we get to talk about that and kind of what happened with some price action, because all of a sudden we are booming once again, bouncing off of that GANFEN level that was kind of giving us some support. And then, of course, the news really helped us out here. And hey, Jonathan, happy to see you back, man. Hope everybody had a great, great day here. I was going to stream actually about a half an hour ago, but I ran late. I went and got some food for my mother. My mother and sister are over here tonight, and I went and got some groceries. We're going to be having some seafood soup, like seafood with noodles or something. So I got us fresh clams, fresh mussels, fresh octopus, and some fresh shrimp that their heads have been cut off and the legs have been taken off because I can't stand doing that work myself. So it's going to be a good night here. But I'm running a little bit late, so sorry about that, guys. So hope you guys are all doing good. Saha, 000 Wolf, and Ramses, hope you guys are all doing good. So a few different things here before we get started. I'm going to take off the colors off of this one just because it's annoying to me at this point in time. There we go. So to get everything kicked off, let's just kind of figure out what happened with Bitcoin today, because we all know that Bitcoin had a massive rally, and basically why this happened. Because again, it wasn't just that the win occurred against the SEC, but it really goes down to what the judge said today, and that what the judge said was absolutely crazy here today. Okay, right? So this is what was, CNBC, Fox, Bloomberg, Yahoo News, they've all been talking about this. Bitcoin rallies more than 7% as court sides with grayscale over the SEC in crypto ETF case. We've been waiting for this for such a long time, and of course we almost had it. And then the SEC said, "No, we're not gonna allow this to happen." But then the court said, "No, you are gonna let this happen." Okay, so we're not gonna be going over everything, so we're gonna skip over this little intro and stuff like this. But I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit here for you guys to see. There we go. So Grayscale's lawsuit against the SEC has been closely watched by investors and other industry participants as a key catalyst that would wake up the market marred by low volatility and liquidity. Earlier this month, Bitcoin trading volatility fell to its lowest level in more than 4 years. If you guys have been watching anything over the past few weeks, you guys know how boring it has been. I know the majority of my friends that are crypto influencers, crypto people that talk about crypto charts in general, we've been all streaming a lot less because it's not like, it's not like something that's been happening to really keep us like, wow, look at this crazy stuff, right? It's hard to make up something exciting on a sideways chart. So basically, several Bitcoin futures ETFs have already been approved in the US. This is what the judge said here. This is really the big news here. The denial of Grayscale's proposal was arbitrary and capricious. Capricious? Yeah. And that's not what you want to hear a judge say about the SEC, okay? The commission failed to adequately explain why it approved the listing of 2 Bitcoin futures ETPs, but not Grayscale's proposed Bitcoin ETP, the court said in the ruling. In the absence of a coherent explanation, so they weren't even making a coherent argument, this unlikely regulatory treatment of products is unlawful. We therefore grant Grayscale's petition for review and vacate the commission's order. Okay, so that means this is most likely going to go through. Now, there is still a chance that the SEC is going to appeal this from the judge, and it'll go to the next level, and then it'll go to the next level and stuff like that. But you can see the power of each of these little wins, right? So here's the thing. If the SEC was just like if you remember the SEC or Gary Gensler, let's just say, and the judge just blasted you for the whole world to see, would you feel like appealing again, just knowing how little credibility the justice system is now thinking that you have, right? We've talked about this a lot, and I pointed this out in the video I gave for you guys earlier today. But what do I say about this? I say that it's reasonable to think that Gary Gensler is not acting in good faith. And I think the judge kind of confirmed what I was talking about. It's one thing for little me to say, hey, Gary Gensler is not acting in good faith. It's very hard for the regulators to kind of figure out what's going on because he keeps on changing his mind. He's like, 1 and 1 do not add up to 2 with this guy if it goes against his personal interest. So what happened? The judge also said something similar to that. So now I'm like, hey, now we all know that his actions are causing the SEC to lose credibility, and not in a slow kind of malaise type of way where it's like, it's not like a death by 1,000 cuts. Like there's a slash here, a major slash here, a major slash there, and the credibility when it comes to specifically cryptocurrencies, they're losing it very fast. And if they keep on losing like this in the eyes of the courts, it's going to be a lot easier, I guess you would say, for a lot more crypto industries to flourish, because the courts say, hey, you did this, how does this make sense? And the more the SEC tries to make up rules, the more the rules don't really fit in a coherent package, I guess you would say, right? So big news on our part. I was really happy about it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the news as well. Hey, Mattis, hey, Dr. V, I'll answer your question in just a second. Round Earth, hope you guys are doing well, and hey, Mattis. So before we get going on this, couple things here. I know I told you guys last week that that was the time to buy if you guys wanted to buy. I mean, there was an order block down here. There's that GAN fan level we talked about. So if you guys bought over there, you're really good. And one of the things that we talked about is something where I said to the effect of, you don't want to necessarily just put all your eggs in one basket betting on it, but you never know when it's going to happen, basically. Is a lot of the times when we have these big multi-day moves as far as Bitcoin's been concerned, it's been about news. News has really been the driver for Bitcoin this year. It hasn't been so much your basic technicals, right? So back over here, I'm not going to pull out all the oscillators and stuff, but what did we talk about? All the momentum was coming down. The oscillators were all giving us very bearish signals. And then boom, we had our big bearish signal. That, as of now, is over with. Now we have to figure out, hey, are we actually going to continue on this downward trend? Or over the next few days, do we have another opportunity with maybe more positive news, more money entering the system, yada, yada, yada? Do we have an opportunity to actually break out, hit that next order block, consolidate if we have to, and then try to go up and go back to those highs of the year, kind of around $31,000? At this point, it's going to be hard for us to do that unless we really have some more good news, as much as I hate to say that. If you guys go over here to the 4-hour chart, I think that's where some of the magic is happening right now. So you can see we actually got rejected off of the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. That's a-okay. That really is just fine. I remember telling you guys about this breakout right here. Nothing really happened after that breakout. We kind of just kept on going more sideways, but we had that golden cross there. That was nice, but then we had a death cross, and there was a whole bunch of really nothing happening, right? So at this point, let me get rid of this very fast. There are a few different ways to look at this. For now, I guess I might just use this low to this high to this low. You can try to go from this low to that high if you want to. For me, it just doesn't make sense to do that. But you can see we're not even close to hitting that real resistance level up here from 28,370. Even if I move it over here a little bit, I know it's probably behind my head, but we're still not close to hitting that. So I was wondering if maybe I hit log off here. Would that change anything? No, not really. So there's not really any big levels of resistance that we have to worry about at this point, just because, frankly, like on some of these shorter time frames, we just broke through all of them so fast. So what do you guys have to be looking for? You guys have to kind of zoom back out just over here to the weekly chart. And again, what did we talk about? I think it was Saturday, I think it was. Maybe that was in the members only stream here. We go back to that idea where we're kind of in this sideways action, kind of we have our ups, we have our downs, stuff like that. And we're not breaking down, but we're just holding strong here and holding quite well. It took a little bit of time. That's why I was surprised last week when we actually had this minor move. This one, I was like, oh, this is happening pretty early. I told you guys if something happened, it would happen this week. But I was almost like, oh, I guess I'm wrong on this one. But we did have that nice upward move here. But again, it was off of news, not technicals. That's the thing that really drives me nuts. You can work as much as you want to on technicals, but when the news comes in, the news comes in. So at this point, guys, actually not. Let me actually pull out the oscillators here. Can I go over here to this one? I wonder if this is the one where I have all the oscillators on it. Yeah, this is the one where I have all the oscillators. Instead of having everything on the other chart, it makes it just a lot easier to have a whole nother layout that just has lots of oscillators. So I want to go over here to the daily chart very fast. And everything was bearish a while ago. I think the stochastic was showing a little bit more bullishness on the shorter time frames. But again, this was a news event, not a technical event. But what did this news event do to the technicals? That's the real question here. So let's just go to auto. Now, on the daily chart for Bitcoin, we have that bullish crossover on your standard MACD. What the heck? I gotta go auto all of them. On my MACD, where I have different settings and it hits a little bit more of a lag, we're about to have that crossover probably tomorrow here. Get rid of those. The stochastic, that also gave us a signal today, the bullish crossover here. So all of a sudden, a lot of those bearish moves are looking a lot better here. Now, this is the squeeze indicator. This squeeze indicator still shows negative momentum, which is still interesting, which is I like it like this because, again, I like to have a little bit more of a lag in my my daily charts and things of that nature. But it's still squeezing and squeeze releasing, I guess you could say, but still hasn't gotten into that really bullish situation there. And last but not least, this is just your normal standard stochastic. It did have that breakout right here, right? But all I want you guys to focus on right now is we're just kind of having these higher lows, and that's a good sign right there for us. But again, we were also kind of having higher lows here, so there wasn't too much divergence. Regular stochastic, I don't really care for it too much, but just in case you guys wanted to see where I think you guys are going to have a lot more fun here, but it's going to be a little more of a drastic look, is all of a sudden MACD, massive crossovers. Actually, the MACD crossover happened way over here. Wow, yeah, because this drop was just crazy as far as that was concerned. Lagging MACD happened way over here. I guess, yeah, this happened when I was telling you guys if you want to take a buy, you can take your buy. But again, you know, who wants to wait a week? I guess the people that listen to me probably waited a week. Stochastic over here, the orange line finally got back in, although it was kind of like teasing it, I guess you could say. But that was also a sign. And you see the 4 hour now, the 4 hour is starting to squeeze right here. So short term, on the short term here, guys, we're looking pretty good. Let's hope that the news can stay positive. I would just urge a little bit of caution here if you're trying to buy in at this point. Buying in at this point is definitely going to be a little bit more sketch. Just have a good stop loss if you're trying to do it. Now we're probably looking for a little bit more of a consolidation period where you might see Bitcoin come back as far as 27,000. It shouldn't plummet all the way back down here to 26,000, 25,000, anything like that, unless we have some equally bad news as the good news we received today from the SEC and the lawsuit, you know, going against Grayscale and stuff. But we're in a decent spot. Go over here to the 15-minute chart. You can see this death cross that's about to come down. Maybe we'll have some more good news, but I can definitely see us coming back down here, maybe just to around 27,000. If you guys are trying to hop in, you know, I would try to wait for it to come back down into this zone and then play the next move that comes up. Your stop loss, if you're looking for a play like this, would probably be anywhere from 27,000 to 26,666-ish, which means if you kind of buy in this zone, you're probably looking at a stop loss of maybe like less than 1%, maybe up to 1% really, or you might be looking at something more close to 1.5%. So, you know, take it as you will, but just be careful of trying to buy right after this pop. I saw people on Twitter and stuff talking about like, oh, I just bought the move, and they were buying it right kind of at the price where it is now, but like over here. Or I guess over here, and you know, it really didn't keep on going up, so just be careful of that. You never want to get stuck after everybody else has kind of pushed the price up. You don't want to be that guy that got FOMO and then all of a sudden the price slowly goes back down, and then as it kind of comes back down here, you sell it for a loss, and all of a sudden it goes boop, you know, it continues to go back up. Happens all the time, happens to new investors all the time. It happened to me all the time when I was learning how to trade, so I can totally relate to that. But anyway, let's go back over here to the main chart. Let's go over here. There we go. Oops, didn't mean to tap on that. All right. And hey, Monica, you're talking about Apple puts on a conversation over the weekend. Can you please take one more look later today? Yes, I can. I was actually going to make a video about that, post it tomorrow, but I think since you're here, might as well just say it now. So for people that weren't listening or paying attention, to people that aren't members, sorry. To people that aren't members, we had a membership stream over the weekend, and I was basically talking about some opportunities for Apple and stuff like that. And one of the things we talked about was, hey, we're seeing a lot of short-term bullish movement on a lot of these stocks, but the overall weekly oscillators are all pretty bearish. Apple's a good example of this. We just had that bearish crossover here. My lagging ones are kind of showing off those bearish moves as well. Excuse me. But when you go over here to the 4 hour charts and stuff like this, like right over here, you're starting to see those more bullish crossovers that say, maybe something can happen over here since we're kind of hitting a level of support. Maybe that's a good opportunity to bounce off. And therefore, since we see the overall weekly trends are slowing, but the more daily 4-hour trends are kind of increasing just a little bit, I was thinking, and this is more for Monica here, that maybe you could start opening up some puts here, not yesterday or today, but kind of once we have a nice solid pop, and we're probably going to get rejected from this 50-day moving average up here. So I would say over the next few days, I might baby step into this one just because there's some news out today from a partnership behind Google and Nvidia, which is kind of giving us a little bit more life in the market. I'd probably say here, if you could just wait for a confirmation that we've been rejected from the 50-day moving average, I'd be much more willing to kind of hop on and buy some puts here, because you're probably going to be looking again to get those puts from like 186, 187, whatever it may be, and trade them down to about, 176 to maybe 172, kind of back to that order block we had talked about. This is kind of that premium zone. This is if you like just want to take your money and run. I'm definitely more in the take the money and the run type of zone here. But we're looking at something like Apple. As long as we don't close above this and we just kind of stick around here for a little bit and we get that full day of rejection, that's where I'm more likely to actually open up the put. And the way I like to buy puts, I think I've told you guys this a few times before, is I don't tend to buy puts in the middle of the day. I tend to buy puts in the last half an hour of the trading day, once I know that the breakdown is confirmed, or once I know that the rejection is confirmed, basically, right? So basically, you guys can see a big breakdown right here, or you can see the change of character happening right here. Well, if I see a change of character happening right here normally, and you can even see there's a breakdown occurring at the same time here, if I notice that that's happening, or I notice a breakdown's happening, I will buy during the last half an hour of the trading day, so I know that this level of support's been broken, therefore will probably come back down even more. Now, in this circumstance, it was actually an earnings report, so you guys got to be a little bit more careful, but that gives you a few days of trading it down. So right now, I'm still in the opinion that you're going to be looking to trade this for maybe a few days, but if you're looking to go, I think you or Bideford, I think, was looking at multi-week holds. I would be very proactive in scaling out of opportunity, like scaling out once I start making some consistent profits. But right now, you really want to make sure that we don't really break above that 50. So if you can see that we're like getting rejected off it, more likely to hop in there. And of course here, this is just a 4-hour chart I want to bring up here just to make it a little bit easier for you to see, because all the crazy stuff happening in pre-hours is post-hours trading is crazy these days. There we go. We're hitting resistance right here. The 200's up here. Let's see what happens if we're kind of around 180. There you go, 187 or so. And let's go back over here to the daily chart. Right, that's slightly above the 50 here. So you might even see a wick type of day where we open up higher, then we kind of close back down lower. I'd be interested to see the following day. That following day is when I'd be most likely to actually open up that position there. But actually, let me just go back over here to the other oscillator for you. Subscriber, I think that's the name of that one. Apple. Okay, this is a weekly chart for Apple. You can see the trend is definitely shifted. We had a massive breakdown here. That beautiful trend is over. Doesn't mean we can't keep on going higher, but it looks like for now we're kind of in this weird spot. I think, how did I explain it before? You can almost imagine we're going to hit another level of resistance somewhere over here and then keep on coming down so that downtrend actually continues. But let's get out of that for now. Maybe, how does it look when I actually show you guys this? If I go to 100% zoom, you guys can pretty much see everything going on here. Let me get the marker. Okay, so weekly chart. Crossover there, crossover here. This is your regular stochastic. Nothing, it's bearish, but it's not the bearishness I'm looking for. I'm waiting for the crossover to happen, which it has, but I'm also waiting for the orange line to get back into neutral territory. Right now, it's still in overbought territory. You see the squeeze indicator is still green, still bullish. Not really what I'm looking for like a multi-week going down type of effect, right? And then you see the stochastic over here having that crossover as well. But I like to use my stochastic over here. It gives me a little bit more time to enter in when things get a little bit more volatile. But go over here to the daily chart with Apple. This is where things switch around a little bit. Let's go to auto. just had that crossover, about to have a crossover here. Stochastic, about actually just had a crossover here. Squeeze is still bearish, but can figure itself out. And the stochastic over here had a crossover as well, and the orange line did kind of peek back in here. So I'm still of the more wait, but you could stagger yourself in there. And then once you kind of see that next rejection level is kind of where I could probably go more full throttle into it. Wait for that momentum to really shift back down. Because that, I think it was like the gist of what we said with a lot of different stocks. Not so much crypto, but stocks over the weekend. They all look like they want to have another kind of a rebound after a bad week. And during that rebound, that's when you guys are most likely going to try to open up some put positions. But kind of once you see that the swings that we just had going up, they're coming back down a little bit, that's where you guys are going to strike. Now, as far as everything on the 4-hour charts and stuff like this, again, momentum is all still going strong. We had those buying opportunities here. I think we talked about this too this might have been the Sunday stream. Price going down, lower lows, oscillators going lower highs. We're having that bearish divergence there. And that's what we're kind of seeing right here after the crossover there, the crossover here. Even my lagging indicator still had that faulty downward signal right there, which is annoying. But again, that's because it's taking into account something that happens in after hours trading. And plus we just had earnings over here, which kind of jolts the price around a little bit more than we would like to and kind of messes with all this stuff for the next few weeks. But yeah, right now it still looks fine to open up some puts. I would say at this point though, just try to find that opportunity where you still see that the rejection happening, and then on top of that you can see that, hey, sentiment is going back to bearish, because right now Nvidia is fucking going off. Let's go over here to reset. Okay, I just want to look up Apple very fast, and I think there's an Apple event coming up pretty soon. What the heck is going on? Okay, there we go. Oh, I might have my thing off. Oh, there we go. And we're looking for buy flow today. We're looking for premium. There's a 119 put placed on for 170. It's at 184 right now. That was above asking price. Wow, that could have been a hedge, but that's a huge block trade right there. Since they opened this up today, I doubt we're going to see a whole bunch of stuff though. Maybe I shouldn't go too deep into this right now. It's going to take a while to load that up. Most of the premium for today was all stuff that expires on the 24th. Excuse me, 2024. So some puts, some calls, 170. People aren't going too far out of the money here. All this today was, a lot of it was 170s. And remember guys, we're at 184, so it's not like too much lower. But we got a lot of puts over there. So you did see a lot of puts coming here today, which is pretty interesting. A few calls here. Yeah, so that's interesting. That person was definitely loading up a lot for those puts. Now, as far as the rest of the day, we're looking pretty fine. But again, you could see a lot of this stuff was for 2024. 2025 put 160. Wow, that's a pretty bearish call. For 2025, that's crazy. All right, let me go back over here very fast and just do one thing here for you as far as Apple's concerned. Time range. Expiration date. Let's go from the 1st to the 29th. So let's kind of see what people are thinking about for the next few weeks here. And that got rid of all the 2024s. It sure did. Okay, so now we're looking at 915, call 170. That's in the money. This is in the money. 185. In the money. 185. 215. So you're seeing a lot of in the money plays for the next few weeks, but this is 185. Some right here. So okay, so we got some smaller plays right here, 185. Yeah, people aren't really expecting Apple to really go sky high or fall off a cliff here. I think they're just kind of hedging their bets and maybe doing some nice little weekly trades here to make sure they get their Christmas bonus, so to speak, which coming up here in a few months. So if we go with the one that was bought today with the most premium, 170 strike price this morning, in the money. Yeah, it's not really too crazy. Okay, let's... Here's one that was bought out of the money. This is what I'm usually looking for. Market tracker, no. Oh, there we go, chart. Yeah, so they bought it actually towards the end of the market. So they bought it at 179. The current price is 182. It's up a little bit. Yeah, the price these options. Yeah, the price has been going up for a while. So 18.9. They bought this at a cheap discount because a few days ago it was over here at 213, 218, but now it's at 182. So yeah, these calls definitely came down pretty darn fast, but they were at 1.54 cents. So somebody's been making some money off of these. So yeah, still going up short term. Once you see that rejection from a certain level, it could be the 50, could be that Fibonacci level, strike it down and you get some good money out of it. And let's go back over here to the main one. Let's zoom back in a little bit to 175 so you guys can see everything going on in the charts here. There we go. We can actually hide that one down a little bit more. All right. And hey, Ron, Bitcoin to 50K at the end of the year? I hope so. We just need good news. Good news is the only thing really driving Bitcoin up these days, and it kind of sucks that that's the case. But remember, guys, this is a big news event here. This is a big news event here. I don't even know what you want to call this, a banking crisis, right? But news has really been the driver of cryptocurrencies this year, and it's kind of bumming because, historically, I mean, I guess technically you could say all this was news driven because of Sam Bankman-Fried and Celsius and stuff. Normally when we're in these kind of weird bearish markets, or even if we kind of pop up for a little bit, there's always more consistent volatility until all of a sudden it kind of drops off of a cliff. You might say that somehow we're maybe over here, or maybe we've already reached the high of this year, so we're something more over here where now we're just going more sideways until we maybe fall again. But what we've seen over the past few months, it's real, like we're at the same level we were back in March. That's how much sideways action we've gone through this year. A lot. Now, we did have that big boom over here, but I mean, we were drastically oversold because of what was happening with Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX having the biggest disaster of the century, I guess, as far as what we think of it as. I mean, heck, it even affected the stock market. So, a lot of stuff going on over there. All right, let's go back over here to maybe the 1 hour chart just so you guys can see. Because this made the charts very ugly very hard to read because everything is now squished down here. And hey, Ramsey's Doge hitting a new record high before 2024. That'd be something. I would love to see that. There was a lot of altcoins up today. I mean, let's just kind of go through a little bit of a breakdown. NASDAQ came back up quite a bit after a good pop. I remember I told you guys we hadn't broken down yet, and when that breakdown happens, then you're going to be much more inclined. But we did have a death cross here. That does mean something, but to be frank, NVIDIA just launched this thing up. It wasn't even anything else. It was just NVIDIA launching everything up. Dow Jones popped back up, ran into the 50. Again, haven't had that breakdown yet. Came close, though. SPY, haven't had that breakdown yet. Had the change of character, so we are seeing these trends kind of finish themselves off. But we're still looking okay at this point. But Ethereum, solid pop. US oil starting to come back up again, just so you guys can see. Oil's coming back up. That's energy right there. That's more inflation. So I'm kind of watching it slowly. The dollar not breaking down anymore, consolidating right here at a major resistance level. Keep an eye on this because, of course, if we have a CPI report that's hotter than last month, just like we had in July, remember I told you guys about this, then you might actually see us breaking back out to maybe 105. That could be catastrophic, not catastrophic. Be very bad for the stock market and the crypto markets as a whole. I just want to reiterate to you guys, trading, economics, inflation, data. If you guys would remember over here, zoom in even more. July was our first uptick in inflation. This is kind of representing the stickiness that we didn't want to see. If this goes to 3.3 or 3.4, no matter how small that is, you guys will notice that in July, there we go. July is when the dollar started to change. July is when oil started to change and go back up. So things got pretty bad once we just got a hint of inflation. Oh, inflation's not coming down as fast as we want anymore, even though, come on guys, inflation's come down great. It's been coming down very fast. That's primarily because it went up so fast. So if we just go over here to like the 5-year, look how crazy fast that went up. So that's good though. But I mean, you go back 25 years, 25 years, it just doesn't feel the same. When it comes up really fast, it comes back down. the fear is, if I can, let's zoom back out, I guess. There you go. The fear here is that when we actually come up really fast, we come back down, but then all of a sudden we end up going back up again. It usually happens. And you see these like double tops that happen quite a bit. Double topish thing over here, double top over here, a little bit double topish over here. That's the fear. And that fear represents rates staying higher for longer. And as we kind of talked about over the past few months, if Jerome Powell has to decide between high inflation and the jobs market, he will focus more on fighting inflation than having people have jobs, right? And that's where we get into the recession type of talk. But we've kind of had that first peak. Maybe, will we? That's the big question. Will we have a second peak? Or maybe will it be a lower peak? You know, there's other ways that could work out. But little bit of afraid of that, so to speak. But then you got like Dogecoin having a nice pop, getting rejected off of the 20-day moving average. Hopefully we can break above that. ADA almost broke out above the 20 here today. ADA has been having a really rough time this year. XRP managed to hold the trend, still doing okay. Maybe can break above the 20. So you're seeing a lot of these different tokens right now. Kind of Ape token, it made new lows. Ape token is just dead right now. You're seeing a lot of tokens kind of hovering around that 20-day moving average. Usually when we're hovering around that 20, it's a really good opportunity to trade, do day trading on it and kind of play with that volatility. AXS, another one. Bitcoin Cash is another one. And see, when you get close, usually what you're looking for is this, that large move breaking between, breaking the 20 moving average. So if I were to go over here, hide the 50, hide the 200 here, and you pop open this, you just change this to the daily. And then you maybe just go up to the 5-minute chart. Now this move happened very, very fast, but you can see once you break above that 20, came up, you found some support, and you'd be buying again right there, and you'd be trading that right there. So that's kind of a hard way to go in there and play. But you know, sometimes you buy the computer when there's big news. Sometimes you're not buy the computer when you have big news. And so you could always toss in something like this, right? So where this is your simple MACD, but basically you're playing the MACD on a very volatile move. So you have that crossover right there, that crossover right there. And so this is telling you to buy right here, and then you can play it up like that. Usually in these scenarios, I don't really focus too much on oscillators because they're kind of out of whack because the price is moving so high. You really just look for that good level of support. And in this scenario, if I back up a little bit here, I guess I can just do this. This is going to be so high, overextended, but this is the high point. Or is this the high point? That's the high, that's the low point right here, right? It doesn't really matter because you can see hiccup there, hiccup there, hiccup there for a second, a hiccup there for all of a second, right? And they become blasting through, and there hasn't been really much of a resistance level since then. Let me see if I can pop this open a little bit more. So, settings. I mean, is there anything really above this we can focus on? No, let's see. No, I mean, we got a hiccup there that we kept on breaking out, though. A hiccup there, then we still broke out. 4.7. I mean, hiccup there again, but yeah, just everything is pretty much still around that realm. You can see the hiccup that was happening right there. So I might have actually had to go to like an hourly chart. Let's see if this was more accurate here. Magnet, and magnet down. You know, and there we go, getting closer, but not there just yet. Maybe if I went to log. Yeah, log is a little bit better, but I don't want to be using that, honestly. But yeah, so let's go over here to maybe that 5-minute chart that we were just looking at. Yeah, almost there, but not there. But now you can see that level of support that we have off of here. Yeah. So that's usually what you're looking for, but you're looking for it to break above that 20-day moving average. And you guys have the opportunity right now, again, with a whole bunch of different plays. There's Dogecoin having some issues with it right here. Dogecoin's a little bit different around the 20 just because it's Dogecoin. But what do you call it? You have those opportunities. Usually Dogecoin's a token that likes to pop, then drop. It's a really good day trading stock, but once people panic out of it, they panic out of it. But that's some of the stuff you're looking for. So right now, you could expect more volatility at Dogecoin. XRP, you can see that green line coming down here. get more volatility there out of there as well. Ape token, I mean, we're like really far away from it. We're really far away. But Matic and stuff like that, look at that. Pretty darn close. Why doesn't it want to show me back the historical stuff, right? You usually have a fun time buying after that. Looks like right afterwards, though, it turned straight back into a level of resistance. Oh, well, that's where the stop loss is there. Well, I wonder if Bitcoin did something in that time frame as well. Let me go back over here to maybe the hourly chart. Let's turn some of these suckers back on. And then more of a chart right here. There we are. Auto leverage back on. Oops. Nope, not log. Auto, that one. Okay. And APHX is definitely a good day for crypto. That news really rallied us up, guys. I mean, it was really that news. And the way they said it, I mean, the fact that the judge said the denial of Grayscale's proposal was arbitrary and capricious. The fact that the judge said that is wild, because that means the SEC really just did something really stupid. Because, you know, again, the SEC, the FBI, FTC, all of these agencies that deal with regulatory or law, when they do something and they're trying to prove something, they have to understand the law behind it, and they can't just be making up shit. If they make up shit, the judge is like, a clear example that everybody might have realized recently was, you remember when, what's the guy's name? The president's son, Hunter Biden. Remember he got that like sweet plea deal type of thing where it was like very, very lovey-dovey, feathers, you know, very, not really harsh at all. And they brought it in front of a judge, and the judge was like, has a deal like this ever been done before? Like, why is this so different? Do you understand what's in this? And like, oh, you guys don't agree on this. What's going on here? That type of stuff. Because of that, everything fell apart. And so when a judge looks into it, as is their job, all of a sudden, if there was a hush-hush agreement, or the government, like in the Hunter Biden case, a deal between the agency, FBI, and the lawyers, that could fall apart like that if it doesn't hold up against what the law wants it to be, needs it to be. Or in case of the Grayscale thing, Grayscale is being targeted by the SEC. This was very arbitrary, capricious, whatever. But the judge probably just asked them some very blatant questions, and the fact that they could not, you know, in the absence of a coherent explanation, that means they didn't have any, like, they couldn't say anything smart, right? As why they should really be able to block this from going forward. They probably just sound like a bunch of idiots. To be frank, you know, there are a bunch of, you guys probably see videos on TikTok or something every now and again of a lawyer acting like an idiot, but they sound really smart, but at the same time, they're just saying really stupid shit. We've all done it. It's like bullshitting, but, you know, there's an expert on the other side so they can tell you bullshitting. That's what these judges have been over the past few months, and it's been kind of crazy to see. Because usually a lot of judges these days, they tend to go down the political route, so they try to like rubber stamp certain things because, you know, come a couple years, maybe they can get that promotion to that next circuit court where they get more pay, more prestige, and maybe when they leave that job, they can go work in the private sector. They got to climb that ladder, and climbing that ladder means, you know, scratching people's backs so they can scratch yours in the future. It's definitely been a crazy few hours kind of going over this Grayscale deal. And over here on Bitcoin, you guys can see again, we just talked about it breaking down here. It still looks like it's coming down slightly, but now we got to start looking for those support levels where, hey, we're going to have that that pivot here. So be careful if you guys want to be buying into it. I think I told you guys if you guys are buying right now, you're like at a 1%, but you could always wait for it to come back down just a little bit more. What do I think about Vivek? He's a new, younger Trump version and smarter. Will Trump pick Vivek as vice president? He is the future Republicans nominee 2028. I watched the Republican debate. I think he probably won the debate. What I was more surprised about, I think, is just the fact that nobody liked him. Like as far as what the candidates, from all of what I understood was that DeSantis has the second highest poll numbers behind Donald Trump, but you know, Donald Trump is just so far ahead, it's freaking insane. I thought everybody would go after DeSantis to pull him down, and then somebody else would be able to emerge. Everybody kind of tried to pull Vivek down, but he was so strong he kind of just willed himself up, which I really was surprised about. I've only seen him on a couple of TikTok videos and stuff like that, and now I have a bunch of videos I'm going to post on of him over the next few weeks here on YouTube. But I don't think he has a chance in hell of winning the presidency right now. I still see it Donald Trump and Joe Biden. If Joe Biden lasts that long, right? And if Donald Trump's not in jail, I mean, it's a freaking shit show right now as far as the election stuff is concerned. I don't think he can coalesce enough of the Trump support base behind him unless Trump is out of office. I think the majority of people that are running right now, they are running for their own specific reasons. So, for example, Trump wants to be president. Vivek, I think he wants to be a VP or a cabinet member. Ron DeSantis, I think he truly wants to be president, but he'd be happy with a cabinet position that will propel him to an election cycle in 2028. Nikki Haley, I don't really know what Nikki Haley's endgame is. I think she really wants to be president, but there's just no shot of it. Same with Tim Scott. Tim Scott seems like a very nice guy. But the fact that he doesn't have a family is going to make it very hard for him to relate to Americans, I guess. Chris Christie doesn't care about becoming president. He just cares about torpedoing into Donald Trump, which is why he got decimated by that Vivek guy at the debate. The two grandpas on the other outsides of the debate, Asa Hutchinson, I think is his name. Just go away. There was a guy on the right-hand side. He seemed more practical. I liked him a little bit. I just don't know a lot about him, so I probably wouldn't I'm not gonna go spend my time to go look more into him. But he seemed okay. But I think I only heard from maybe 2-3 times. He just seemed like a normal guy. But sometimes normal's nice. Yeah, maybe the wild card's Nikki Haley, but I don't know exactly what she wants. She's not going to become president. There's no chance in hell she becomes president. But I have no idea what she truly wants out of all this because she really has no path to get the Republican nominee. Wild cards for me is I don't think the what's that guy's name? The Democrat who's opposing Biden right now, that Robert Kennedy Jr. I don't think he's going to even show up on a debate stage with Biden. I think Biden's just going to push him aside and say, "Hey, I don't want to debate you," which probably will work with the media and kind of in the Democrats' pocket right now. Joe Manchin may run for office. That could be pretty interesting to see what happens there as kind of a moderate candidate. I keep on hearing all these whispers of what happens if we have like an independent vote or something like that, because I think the way the country's going, the majority of people right now would probably not want Trump or Biden. But they both, I guess Trump has a very passionate base. Biden has a very passionate hatred base against Trump, right? I don't think many people actually just like Joe Biden, especially since his son is kind of corrupt at this point. I think it's yeah, I think I can say that now. He's a pretty corrupt dude. But as far as Joe Biden, it's kind of harder to tie all that stuff together. It was just damn, his son has some shitty problems. But I'm hearing more and more whispers about that middle candidate where hey, let's peel off Democrats, let's peel off Republicans, and let's see if we can get a certain amount of votes to make this work. I just think it's very hard for Americans to get out of their current mindset. We usually get stuck, we stick to what we know, and we're used to having a 2-tiered party system. And Democrats are corrupt, Republicans are corrupt. Who's to say that the independent dude that's in the middle isn't also just going to be another corrupt dude? And how does that guy get the Republicans and Democrats to work together? How does he do that without them fighting and arguing and stuff like that? It takes a very smart individual to be able to do that, and it takes the media to not be so biased and corrupt to do that as well. I think I was watching. I told you guys my mother's here today since we're having dinner. My mother was watching CNN, I think, or she was falling asleep while CNN was on the TV. And I think she was watching something about the hurricane. I was going to show you guys this a little bit ago. Fresh. So there's a hurricane going through Florida right now. I was watching CNN, I think, for good 5-10 minutes before I turned to, normally when I'm up there, I turn to CNBC while I'm cooking lunch or something. they were talking more about bashing Ron DeSantis and this hurricane than just like preparing people for the hurricane itself. And I was just like, why do that? And like, I don't, it's so weird because to me, I don't really care too much about national politics because I think the majority of power that kind of affects our day-to-day lives happens within the smaller government. So the state government, city government, county government. I think that has much more of an impact on our lives, which is why you see friction between state governments and local governments so much. I think New York is a good example because I think they have all those immigrants right there right now. They tried to like push a lot of the immigrants to the smaller communities outside, like the smaller townships, but they were like, no. State of emergency in our little township, no, we're saying no, and therefore New York City or the county of New York can't actually like impose stuff on them. I'm much more of a local guy, but when it comes to national politics, it just seems like such a fucking mess. And you know, right now I'd probably say leaning towards Republican is what I'm looking for because I'm a financial guy. I want the market to thrive. I want Bitcoin to thrive, and you know. I see a lot of Democrats in Congress, specifically the Senate, saying, hey, we need to ban Bitcoin. And then I'm like, how could I endorse this? Because, you know, I like Bitcoin. I like cryptocurrencies. I like the stock market. I don't want things to hinder my opportunities for making money. Even if there is like market manipulation, I can still thrive in that environment, so to speak. But then, you know, I see Republicans and then Republicans, kind of more pro crypto, I guess you could say. I'm fine with the regulations going along with it. Culturally stuff, I don't really care. I live in Washington State. It's about as like blue as you can be. You know, I tend not to mind much. But it's just kind of like, I want the economy to thrive because when the economy is thriving, you know, we get cool moves like that. When the market's not thriving, you know, we get 2008 financial crisis stuff or just slow growth. And I'd rather have a working economy that kind of is humming along. Because I told you guys this when I first started the channel a long time ago. My view on the world is usually pretty pessimistic. And what I told you guys a long time ago was I could see in the future that we have kind of a more locked in class system in the United States where we're not necessarily, it's not so easy to go from lower class to middle class to upper class. It's much more baked in. So what you're born as, you kind of stay there because there's only going to be so much money around. And, you know, I'm blessed that I was able to kind of go from nothing to where I am now, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be that easy for everybody. And what did I do? I had to do it through non-organic means. I mean, I guess I did have my marketing manager job in Seattle for a while, but really where I got my full-on wealth, it's through trading, and YouTube has been good for wealth overall, kind of really diversify my monetary, like the way I get money. But I just seen getting more and more difficult for people to get out of the rut. And I think a large part of that is marketing in America is we're just geared to spend money, because if we don't spend money, our entire system falls apart like that. Which is why everybody going into the future now, everybody's so worried because all of a sudden delinquencies and stuff are up. Like delinquencies. There you go. Right, delinquencies are starting to go up here again. All right, so this is 2020. Of course, they're happening a lot. January 2023. We're starting to go back up on delinquencies. That's not good. Now, this is all loans, all commercial banks, right? Loans secured by real estate. This is from 2018, though. Let me see. This is up to date. Yeah, that's starting to go up, too. So all of a sudden, what happens if we can't spend money? What happens if these people can't spend money and all of a sudden their credit scores get kicked in the butt and all of a sudden they can't get more loans, they can't, they go through bankruptcy court, whatever. It's a problem. So this is a big flag of like, what's going to happen? But maybe it kind of just steadies off a little bit. Maybe it doesn't go much higher than that. That's what we're really looking for. But if we start going back to where we were January 2022, all of a sudden we really have a confirmed trend of like bad shit going on, right? So we're just kind of in this weird spot. The country's in a weird spot. Politics are in a weird spot. A lot of people don't trust institutions, and I think institutions really broke down during COVID. I think that's when things really took a bad turn because, as somebody that was, in during COVID, up to like a few weeks ago, I used to have masks right there on my little hanger thing. That's why I usually keep a bottle of wine or a glass of whiskey or something. At the beginning of COVID, they told us not to wear masks, and then they told us to wear masks, and then I was very confused about that and all that type of stuff. But then, like, I went to CNN or MSNBC or Fox, and I guess Fox had a different story, I guess, versus everything else. But what happened? Then they tried to, like, gaslighting was a very popular thing back in the day. What did they say? No, we never, like, the government never said you shouldn't wear a mask. But then you just, like, go to YouTube, Anthony Fauci, you don't have to wear masks. And so, like, forgetting all, like, the COVID part of it, just, like, the trust in institutions, the media just hit rock bottom. And I don't think people are going to go back to trusting those institutions, like, for years, for decades, because everybody that's lived through COVID now, they're going to remind their kids how bad the government, like, really fucked that up. And this is across administrations, right? It's not like just it was a Democratic problem or a Republican problem. It was like Democrats, Republicans, institutionalists, all of it. Everything kind of crumbled down, and then you had some states open up early, like Florida opened up. Some states that stayed locked down for longer, like California. But you saw like the I think it was like, what was that? Newsom got caught at a very luxurious restaurant with no mask, while everybody else in the state had to wear masks. Like, institutions require people act rationally and truthfully and honestly. So when that doesn't happen, the institution as a whole suffers just because the leader of the institution or the face of the institution does something very stupid. And we've seen that happen a lot, right? So don't exactly know what that means for the country. I just know it's very hard for the country to fix itself in different aspects when the people that are in charge just, of giving you information. This could be like the Fed or the SEC or the government or the news organizations. If people just don't trust them. I mean, let me see. Pew Research, I guess. This is from 2022. I don't know. This is Statista. Maybe this is over here. Oh, okay. Get me out of here. Yeah. America, 26% trust media, I guess. You can trust news most of the time. 26% of us trust news. Forget about the SEC. Forget about the White House. Forget about the Justice Department. Forget about the FBI having all their issues. Just the news. That's not a healthy country there. And I think what happened is, especially during the 2008 financial crisis, we just realized truly how much of our entire system is bought, because we're like pure capitalism over here. I guess not pure, but you get what I'm saying. Anybody can be bought. Anybody can be bought. And when we see this type of corruption or stuff going on, usually when they're trying to, like, maybe somebody comes in that's actually good, they have to try to figure out a way to fix everything. They have to bend themselves like backwards in order to appear to be non-biased. But that one stroke where they really fuck things up, it messes up everything going on. I think, who's that guy right now going after Donald Trump? Jack Smith, and then the judge in Georgia. The judge in Georgia, I just heard over the radio a few days ago. It was on Sirius XM or something. She wants to do the date of the trial right before Super Tuesday, and that's messing up with the politics. Another one wants to do the trial and another trial at a certain date, where it messes with all of these speaking events that he has planned for like a whole bunch of different states that come up within like a week or something, like a super week, whatever it is. Like I said, I don't really care too much about national politics, but they're not even trying to seem non-biased, and they can do it. They're the government. They're the justice system. They can do it. It's their prerogative. But what that does that trust level gets more and more down until we get to levels where, like, do you have to obey, like, people have to question, do they want to obey a system where they have no faith in it? And that's where things get really bad as a country. I'm not entirely sure that we're there yet, but we're getting close, guys. Like, you see protesters, both sides. I'm not talking about just Republicans being mad or Democrats. If you're a Democrat, you probably see your friends mad a lot about certain events. If you're a Republican, you see your friends mad about a lot of certain events, right? So it's just going to get worse. And when that kind of hits the market, it's not going to be pleasant. It'll be a really bad time because the government's going to try to fix something up. And then when the government does that, they're going to have to try to find a way to stimulate the economy. Say, hey, people, go back out and spend and stuff like that. And that's kind of the one thing that saves us every time. America, we're designed to spend money and spend money and spend money and spend money. Heck, I just bought $200 worth of cigars. I think $250 worth of cigars. The other day, I just bought myself a nice lighter. I got myself a, what type of lighter is this? I know we're not even talking about crypto, but I told you guys Bitcoin's going to be coming down for the next few minutes, and while I was coming back down, I bought myself this Saint DuPont lighter. That's like a cool little jet. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me actually see if I can make this go up a little bit. Oh, I got a big old freaking knife here. Oh, this knife is not meant for this, actually. Trying to think of what I have. Normally I keep this lighter on low because I don't like to have it be so high. But this is a Saint DuPont lighter. They're pretty nice lighters. This one was a special maxi lighter or maxi jet or something because I didn't want the yellow flame because the yellow flame ones were too expensive for me. And like what I mean by expensive is oh, for fuck's sake, I don't care. Here, these lighters are awesome. If you ever want a lighter, this is gonna be the stuff for you. Like, look at these lighters. Oops. These lighters are absolutely beautiful, but they're also like 1,300 euros. So that's a no from me. But I get stuff like this slim one. I got a custom one, so it's a little bit nicer. It's silver. Has some silver plating on it, because, like, you know, matches my rings and stuff. Got 1,000 euro one. But I got a nice one. But basically, you know, it has like a little jet on it. So, like, maybe you can see that, right? But I can get the jet to go like that big. It's a really cool thing, but it's meant to be very slim. So it has like a little thing for you to see the propane and stuff like that. But you know, even me, I still spend a shit ton on stuff I really don't need. Here. Now I will say this humidor that I have is on the cheaper side, and I messed up my water yesterday, so I need to go buy another humidor for it. But here, see, right? Oh, it smells so fucking good. But what do you call it? You know, I buy a lot of cigars. I get cigars for me. I get cigars from friends come over. I get cigars to try out new things. You know, I already tell you guys know I have ADHD, so I kind of go off on tangents like I am right now. But when I smoke a cigar, it calms my mind. It slows me down. I'm just out on the balcony. I have my chair out there. I have a blanket on my legs. It get kind of cold. Loki's with me, sitting by my side. I'm just drinking some whiskey and smoking a cigar. It's a pretty freaking nice, slow life. But I can afford it. Most people can't afford the shit they're doing these days. So it really comes back to bite them in the butt. Oh, hey Loki. Yeah, and you know, I got a dog over here too. Loki, say hi very fast. He just got tons of pork for a snack, so he's in a good mood. But he's also tired, which is why you see his ears like that. His ears aren't up. He's like, I want to go back to sleep. And he's wagging his tail nicely. Alright. See you later. Bye. Yeah. But yeah, what do you call it? That's pretty chill. Okay. Now back to what do you call it? Talking to you guys. And hey Ramses, what's up with Dogecoin? I mean, Dogecoin hasn't really been doing anything too crazy here. Just like Bitcoin, it's having that breakdown here. Had that change of character, the death cross, and the 15-minute chart that we talked about a few minutes ago. 4-hour chart. Back up here. Pop then drop is usually what I say when it comes to Dogecoin. I wish I had like another explanation for you guys, but that's usually what it does. When we have very rapid moves. Now, as far as Dogecoin is concerned, if Bitcoin can manage to hold on to the support level it has right now, which again is like, you know, 27,000, I think it was. Yeah, 27,000. Then you could see Dogecoin popping back up here and trying to get back up here to tackle 0.0722. probably have a 20% chance of breaking through that over the next couple weeks. It's not a very high chance, but at least you can see that, hey, this means we still have a nice level of support over here with these multiple order blocks. What I'm typically looking at as far as Dogecoin here, weekly chart, we've been at these levels before. Every time we come down here, people buy, they're usually pretty happy with what they see in a few weeks time. So this is probably no exception. We had that death cross over here. We definitely came down after that death cross after a little bit of coming back up, but pull this up for you very fast. Nothing's really changed since this time back over here. Right, watch what happens as we attack this level of resistance and or the 20-week moving average, excuse me. Daily chart here, still getting kind of close, but nothing has changed too much. Even back over here when we first had to deal with this, broke down, came back up. That's going to be the big part. That's going to be that, again, that 20% chance that we break out above it. Otherwise, we just kind of continue to consolidate up here, and maybe we break out in a couple weeks or so. But really, the scary part about Dogecoin is usually it gets kind of stagnant for a while. So when you see the stagnation, you see those kind of fake breakdowns like that. So now you're kind of wondering what happens next. For me, as far as Dogecoin, I wouldn't necessarily be buying at these levels, but I would still be holding anything that I had. If you're looking to buy into Dogecoin, I'd probably say go over to the hour chart and maybe see if you can buy it if it comes back down into this zone over here. There you go. More into the middle of this zone, so kind of around that 0.065 level. We're at 0.06561, so not too much further. Because if Bitcoin does decide to kind of flush out here and maybe just see that next big drop down to that level of support that we have, let's go back over to the 15. You know, that's enough to push Dogecoin down a little bit more because, you know, if Bitcoin goes down a little bit, everything else kind of goes down a little bit more, obviously. Yeah, because we don't even know if, let's see, Bitcoin's next level of support, if it breaks down below here. It's all the way back down here around 26,817. And again, it has its own little zone of over here. Right, so depending on what you're looking for, you might want to wait like till tomorrow to buy Dogecoin, or maybe a few hours if we kind of take another dump as far as Bitcoin's concerned. But yeah, not too bad at this point. Oh, let me go back over here to 15-minute chart. There we go. Hurricane party. I'm in Crystal River, Florida. Uh-oh. Hope you're doing well, Island Time, and I hope the storm. From what I saw, as far as that storm is concerned, it doesn't look terrible right now. Refresh. There we go. And so what I see is, yeah, Hurricane number 3, or excuse me, level 3 is coming up. It'll fly over Tallahassee, a lot of stuff. Valdosta, Waycross, and Blackshear. The names on the East Coast are always so crazy to me because out in Washington, we're all Native American. Like everything is like, I live like 15 minutes away from a town called Puyallup, from the Puyallup tribe. Seattle is named after Chief Seattle. Everything around here is like Native American towns and areas. Tulalip, excuse me. Chehalis, excuse me. Like it's all Native American names. It's all Native American names over here. I mean, it looks like there's gonna be a lot of rain over here in South Florida too, though. Yeah, a lot of rain. So hopefully you guys are okay. Hopefully you guys get to keep your Wi-Fi the entire time. That way you know you're okay. If you got Wi-Fi, you're surviving. If you lose your Wi-Fi and your electricity, then you gotta then you gotta actually go outside and look to see what's happening to kind of figure out what's what's going on there. See, and hey, Byte Media, what's up, Michael? Do you know any platforms that I could trade crypto futures in the U.S.? KuCoin recently stopped supporting it. Yeah, it's been annoying because more and more companies are having to leave the United States. So there are a few sponsors of the channel. One that starts in September. I'll talk about them in a second. Fairdesk has really been the standard one. Right now, I say Fairdesk for a couple of reasons. So what's the best way to say this? Because I haven't had a good job of actually explaining this to you as of late. So if any of you guys use Fairdesk, this includes you, Byte Media, Fairdesk has given me the ability to change the amount of your fees that you get, how much fees you pay, basically. So if I was to do this mathematically, I guess, I don't know. Let's go over here very fast. So let's say you guys for whatever reason, have a lot of fees. Okay, so like you guys are trading nonstop and you guys have $100 at the end of the day, right? So $100 in fees. So traditionally, what I'm allowed to do, because I had to ask them if I can do this, because I was like, you guys were asking me about fees and stuff like that, how to get the cheapest fees. And I'm like, oh, like I asked my contact, she says, oh, you can actually give them less fees. So like normally in the normal world right now, if you guys have a whole $100 in fees, I will actually earn 50 of that. That's my commission from the exchange. Some exchanges have offered me up to 80% fees, right? But it's usually the exchanges I don't like too much. So I'll make 50 bucks of that. But what I can do for that instead is I can actually say, hey, I don't want $50. What I'll take instead is, what I'll do instead for you guys is, instead of you guys having $100 in fees, you're still going to have $100 in fees, but 20% of that, which is $20 here, will be given back to you the following day. So in reality, you've only paid $80 in fees because you spent $100 in fees, but you got a $20 rebate that went back into your wallet. And that rebate looks like, let me see if I can find it. It might be a little bit different because I'm an affiliate for them or something, but oh, I got to log in through Google. Hold on. Please don't have me go through my email. I got so much security on my accounts. I really hate it, but I guess like you have to have security these days, right? Yay, didn't have me do that. Oh, thank God. All right, so if I go to my dashboard and I go to my wallet and I go over here to history and I go to asset and I go to distribution. So it looks something like this. Okay, so let me zoom in for you guys very fast. So you see this, it says future commission. There's like copy trading commission, but future commission. So I got paid like $7.80. So if you had $100 of fees the next day or the following night, I'm not entirely sure how they would do it, you would get a wallet distribution of $20 coming back to you. So that's kind of cool. So it means you're pretty much getting like a 20% off discount on all your fees. Now the fees here aren't crazy. They're not necessarily cheap, but they're not crazy high. I think it kind of just, it's in the normal range of them. But you'd pretty much get that. And you can see, I mean, I get like $3 here, $2 there, $1 here. It's not like I'm making a shit ton, but you know, it adds up. And that adding up can go towards other stuff like other trading, can go towards paying other fees. So I would say Fairdesk is one. The one thing here is, in order to do that, I have to know your UID number, which is basically your account number you get on any exchange. So what I would say is if you, I'm going to put out a video kind of explaining this in a little bit better way. If you send me your UID on there, I guess I can go into my back end section, which is a lot more complicated than what I just showed you, and I can go over there and change it to 20% discount, and so you get the 20% back. And so that right now I think Fairdesk is probably the best place to go, because it allows me to actually like give you guys as much of a discount as I can, which means that technically I'll be earning myself 20% less, or yeah, because there's just 20% less of the pot for me to take that 50% of my commission out of it. So I'd be learning less, but I'm fine with it. So that's something right there. And maybe that makes you trade more, which ends up getting you more fees in the long run. I don't even know. But what do you call? I want to do that for you because I specifically asked for it. I told you guys about it like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I just never kind of made that video talking about it, and I'll make it tomorrow for you guys. So that's the way right there. Another exchange is going to be TapBit. I don't have the affiliate link down there, but I have some affiliate links down below if you want to check out those exchanges. All those exchanges I have down below are all approved to be in the United States. They all have their licenses and stuff like that. The other one's TapBit, but my official partnership with them doesn't start until September 1st. And they are going to be paying me 50% commissions. And I believe they're paying me like $500 a month to have their banner on the little thing there. So those are both two. I've been trading off TapBit for a little bit, and I've been liking it. other ones out there, there's Weeks, which is still pretty good. KuCoin going literally opened up a lot of people had to really fly to find another place. Coinbase, if you still want to try there, but really, I would say Fairdesk is where I've been spending a lot of my time. Because it used to be a lot of my time used to spend on KuCoin. TapBit's a good. Weeks is another one. LBank is another one right there as well. I have a link down below for that one too. And pretty soon you see the TapBit one. If I was to rank it, it'd probably be Fairdesk, TapBit, LBank, and Weeks kind of tied at the end there. All the exchanges are pretty similar. It's just the fact that I'm allowed to give you guys a discount when it comes to Fairdesk. I just have to post a video saying, hey, drop your UID here, and then if you signed up underneath me in my affiliate link, then I'm authorized to give you guys a discount on fees, which I think is pretty chill. Crypto is we're used to paying fees in crypto, but only a few years ago, like maybe like 10 years ago now, oh my god, it's been a while, we finally got access to the free stock market and stuff like that, like free, no commissions when it comes to options trading, or maybe options contracts, but no commissions on buying Apple or Nvidia and stuff like that, which has been a huge help, and that's helped the market grow, right? But yeah, I would probably say Fairdesk. Usually what I would say is I have a bunch of links down below. You can click on any one of them, but don't sign up right away. Just kind of see what you like and kind of just go around, see what the website looks like, and you can have some fun with it. And if you like it, then you can actually sign up using the link. I always encourage you guys to use the links just because it helps support the channel. And I just kind of showed you how much money I was making a few seconds ago. It wasn't like it was like thousands of dollars. It's more of just like hundreds of dollars a month, which I enjoy using for this channel. Actually, it kind of helps pay for all the 24-hour streams, to be frank with you guys. But it's nice to not have to worry about the 24-hour streams, like the money behind them. And hey, Shannon, copy trading still doing fine. I took a hit with that news event that happened a while ago where Bitcoin just kind of crashed right here, over here. As far as the class, I'm working on it slowly but surely. I've been kind of busy the last few weeks because my mom's been over a lot because she's been dealing with back pain. I lost everything that I've been working on when it came to my my project. Like, somehow somebody got into my Gmail account and deleted a lot of stuff. I don't know how. Back when I was in Vegas with my mother last month, somebody changed the name of one of my streams. I think it was this one, maybe something like this, to something of about Kilo Charlie or something. And Kilo Charlie was not the person that did it, but somebody got in there and hacked my stuff, so I lost like everything. As far as what I've been working on, I've restarted, but it's not anywhere near where it was before. Like, I had diagrams made, I had all types of shit made, and it's all kind of gone now, so it's kind of sucks. I started paying for some more stuff now, which is nice. Like, I just paid for this a few days ago, which is pretty cool. These are all just short videos. Go over here very fast. Oh, this. Like, I just got paid. I just paid for somebody to make this for me, so it kind of shows divergences and stuff like that. So I'm kind of building back up from scratch, but at least I was able to go back to an old video that I had where I kind of explained the whole structure of the video, and so I'm structure of the course. So I'm still building off of that same structure. I'm having ChatGPT help me out with a lot of the simple definitions and stuff like that, so I don't have to like really make my own definitions up about them, so I can spend more time kind of explaining them. The course will probably be done around Christmas if I'm lucky, maybe February if I'm like just kind of taking it slow, which I probably will be. But yeah, not so good news on that front. I mean, it's going fine now, but for heaven's sakes, I was pissed, like more pissed than I want to admit on a live stream. But yeah, so everything I had worked on this, like the whole everything was going through what do you call that? Everything was going through Google Sheets. So now everything I'm doing is actually going through PowerPoint, so not connected to Google. So if somebody gets my Google account, they don't actually have access to my Microsoft account. Yeah, so it wasn't too good. But yeah, this stuff like this has been pretty nice. So it teaches you about divergences and stuff like this. I'll use it for a video going forward or something. But yeah, and yeah, so things are going pretty well. Let's see. Did I talk to my grandmother, which is worse, 1960s Civil Wars versus 2023 Civil Wars? I mean, I wouldn't call any of that type of stuff Civil War. I mean, to me, to be frank, people are kind of angry. But what I see as anger is just, how do I say this in a very nice way? Both sides are angry, left, right. Maybe you could even say middle is angry too. But we're kind of being hypnotized or bamboozled, so to speak, to think that the other side is responsible for the badness that we're all kind of dealing with in our lives. And so, when in reality, it's just the institutions that have been cemented in this kind of like malaise of corruption. So you could see a Democrat or a Republican, this could be Donald Trump or Joe Biden. They want to actually do some type of like real change. It's not going to do anything because the institutions themselves will not allow it to happen. You could say that both Trump and Biden have both accomplished a lot of stuff when it comes to bills, laws, things of that nature. I think Joe Biden did the infrastructure plan. He did the CHIPS Act and trying to cap insulin prices, some other stuff, right? But for most people, that's actually not touching their everyday lives. And that's not really Joe Biden's fault. I don't think that's really Democrats' fault. That's the institution's fault. Institutions allocate funds and then they go after the government and stuff like that. Your government probably isn't even using the money the proper way. This could be, again, red states, blue states. I just don't have a very positive view of government as a whole because I think all they want to do is get larger and spend more money because they think that spending more money is a way of helping their constituents. But it's like, it's how you spend the money. It's what programs you want to fund. And really the quality of the people behind the projects. That's why, let me see if I can find out this story again. I'm not spelling anything right here, but that's okay. Right? San Francisco's homeless department is pushing to continue an expensive tent encampment program that says it's crucial for keeping people off the sidewalks, despite its high price tag of more than $60,000 per tent. Now, you all know that if you're a Democrat, Republican, or Independent, it'd be cheaper to just send somebody off there that's getting paid $20 an hour, right? $20 an hour per a month is oh shit, what is that? 20 times 160, 3,200. And California is sucking your taxes away anyway, so they're not actually getting paid that much. But $3,200 for one person. Let's just say you pay for a city would probably have 100 people, right? $320,000. An average tent at tents. I like how the first one that shows up is like a $2,000 tent. Camping tents. Okay. $79, $44, $99, $33, $79, $99, $169, $79, $21, $80, $35. Homeless person, I don't think they deserve much fanciness or luxury, so let's just kind of say, hey, we get them a $40 tent. All right. So now we add that. And so let's go over here to another one. So let's go 40 times. let's say there's well, actually, how many is this? How many homeless in LA? 46,000. Okay. And so 40 times, what did I just say that was? 46,000? 50,000. Okay, so that's $2 million right there. Okay. That's a tent for literally every homeless person. And I know homeless people already have tents. I know they already have places they live in, the inside houses and small houses and whatever. I know they all have this. I'm just trying to prove a point to you very fast. So that's $2 million. 20, 200, 2,000, 20,000, 200,000. Yeah, 2 million. Sometimes I just got to double check. So you got that 2 million, and then you're paying for pretty much the salaries of everything for the workers there. Let's just, you know, that's another 320,000. So that's $2.4 million. Let's just kind of round it up. $2.4 million. Okay. So we go back over here. $2.4 million. And I just want to see. Okay. Let me turn off my ad blocker here just so I can show this for you very fast. Allow once. Fresh. Okay. Now you see this right here. Oh. Fuck's sake. I hate websites that do this to me. Okay. Oh, do I have to pay to get this article? Okay. Right here. You can see it right there. The program currently costs $18.2 million for about 260 tents. Unlike the city's homeless hotel program, the tent villages are not eligible for federal reimbursement. Okay, 18.2 million, 3.4 million. If you just paid $50 to go buy all these tents, you could add another whole fucking million there for the cars necessary, the gas necessary, all the type of shit. You know, even an extra 1 million on top of that for telling people about it, reach out, whatever. You could do all that. And it still doesn't even come close to the money they're asking for, $18.2 million. Like, when you think about it, it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. But because they're trying to do something noble, we forget how badly they're truly doing it. And that's the Democratic example. There's Republican examples of the same type of stuff here. But it's just, like, it's why, again, I think that local government matters so much more, and it's so much easier to see local incompetence. But we're kind of on our sides, right? Not many Democrats are going to be against, like, you know, sheltering the homeless or giving them tents. I just, you know, myself, I'm not against that either. I'm just against the crazy pricing that they have to do, like $60,000 per tent. Like, it is just so wild. Yeah, it just, oh my gosh, like, just for a program like that, I would really say it'd be better served to forcibly relocate homeless people to certain designed small towns way outside of cities, inner cities, because they don't really do well for African Americans who typically live in bad environments around the inner cities. The hippie shops that are kind of in that kind of gray area price range, they don't necessarily like them either. Nobody really wants to see homeless people kind of just roaming around. And so what you would do is you would have to take a firmer measure. This is why I kind of go more conservative. Force them into like a small town where they can live and be happy there. And then once they're able to get pay, you could even have a real allocation system where after they kind of have their life together, or if they already have their life together, you know, they already have their life together, maybe they just really couldn't afford expensive fucking rents, right? What do you call? You could actually send them off to a state that needs workers. But at this point, I'd rather have a person from El Salvador or Honduras than a homeless guy that maybe has a drug history problem. You know, there's options nowadays, right? So it's all that type of weird stuff. But nobody uses money properly. It's so weird. Now, I live in a Democratic state, so I'm much more aware of Democratic instances of like messing with money, but I'm sure there's a Republican who knows something more about Republican cities. I've lived around Seattle, Tacoma my whole life. I lived in Bozeman, Montana, which is a liberal city in Montana, so, you know, And I never even got into Bozeman politics because I was just there for college. It is what it is. There's nothing about it, low roller coaster. It's just the way the system is. And hey, Daily Pizza, it's not a fake pump because it was kind of built off of by news, but I will say that the overall trends are still bearish, yes, but we have an opportunity to kind of flip those trends around if we can have some more good news. So I really said, that's what I said at the beginning of the video or stream, good news is what we're going to need to have in order to keep this momentum up. We still need to have a breakout. So let me go over here to the daily chart as far as Bitcoin. We're still in this downtrend. If we can break out of this downtrend and start breaking back above $30,000, we can actually have a really good move, but we have to kind of wait to see that breakout happen. I already told you guys, if you guys wanted to buy, last week was the time to buy. At this point, if you didn't buy, you can try to stagger your way back in or wait for the breakout. But you know, it's gonna be difficult to get another good price like we just had. You know, but news just pumped us up. News could definitely bring us back down, but it's always hard to rely on news to really move the market because you just never know what is going to happen. So it's going to be a little bit tougher there. There we go. AMC is just a dilution stock. That's why I said a long time ago I would never really hold AMC or GameStop for the long term. They're fun to trade, but man, you just got to be so careful with them. I live in California, use Mexi. Mexi is also another one right there. Mexi is also another one right there as well. Can't use Binance anymore in Canada. Jeez, that's crazy. Cool. Hey, thanks, Shannon. Yeah, it sucked. It really did. I didn't really talk about it. I talked about it a little bit, but like it's the type of cursing that I rarely do where you feel like your eyeball's gonna pop out and a vein just gonna pop out of your head because you're just like so pissed. But at the same time, I couldn't be too pissed because I was with my mom in Las Vegas. So I literally had to tell my sister to come down here, log on to my computer, because she was watching Loki, being a good boy over here. She was watching Loki for me. So basically, I had to tell her to come over here, log into my YouTube account, give her all my information, and have her, how do I say it, get rid of the stream, and while I changed the password and everything. It was a freaking... I did it while drinking in a skyscraper at Resorts World, looking down on the city of Las Vegas, and I was so chilled until I saw my account had been hacked, and I was just like, ah. Because I had to change it really fast, because if I didn't change it fast, for all I know, you guys could be watching a freaking Elon stream, you know, like, hey, give me 5 Bitcoin and we'll give you back 10 Bitcoin or something. You know, that could have been my channel if I didn't act fast enough. Watch Seattle is done. I have watched that one. That one was pretty good. That was a good one. That was crazy over here because Seattle is like seen as like the Emerald City, you know, around here. It's supposed to be a nice jewel. Right now, the jewel of the Pacific Northwest is actually Bellevue, which is kind of weird because not many people know about Bellevue. Bellevue is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I have a friend that wants to move up there from Portland. She's moving up there in a few weeks. What is the point of courts ruling in favor of Grayscale only to let the SEC make the decision on their spot ETF? Makes no sense to me. What is the point of the courts ruling in favor of Grayscale only to still let the SEC make the decision on their spot ETF? Okay, so it's not supposed to make too much sense because the SEC is making mistakes. The courts have to fix those mistakes, and that's what you kind of just saw just now. There's going to be more lawsuits, more tit for tat. And at this point, we have a divided Congress, and I don't think they're really going to make they're not going to come together and make a real crypto package. I think we might have to just wait until 2024 because, as you guys know, the closer we get to an election cycle, the less work Congress tends to do because they're all out campaigning for themselves. So it's not supposed to really make sense, dude. I'm sorry, GT. I'm sorry. It's just the courts have to fix it. And that's what we're seeing. That's why you see the SEC versus this, the SEC versus this, and it's all just tons of court battles. And we have the SEC loses here, big boom for the market. SEC loses here, big boom. SEC appeals the decision, big drop in the market. It's just kind of all over the place because we still don't have those regulations that we really need. I've always been one of those guys, I would say, that's really not. I've been a guy that actually wants regulation. I want institutional money to come in. I want them to feel comfortable enough to buy Bitcoin assets, whether it's straight up buying it off the exchanges or maybe just having an ETF. I don't care. I want more exposure for the market. I want more people to understand how to buy cryptocurrencies. I want it to become more mainstream. And we need regulation to do that. Some people don't want no regulation. I totally understand that. If we had no regulation right now, we wouldn't have to pay taxes on our crypto. That'd be awesome. But you know, it's just the courts have to fix it bit by bit, and the SEC is definitely in a losing trend right now, which is very helpful to us. They're losing credibility. People don't like them as much, and that's good for us. But we still have to have Congress come together and really give us give us some help, I guess, as far as the regulation front is concerned. Look at Solana. Solana is, what has Solana been up to? Do I even have Solana up here? I know I do. There it is. Ooh, Solana's about to have a golden cross in the weekly chart. That could be pretty fun to play around with. How close is that to happening? Let me get rid of this very fast. Oh. Why can't I see it? I should be able to hide this. Why can't I hide this? Oh, hide. I guess it's right there for some reason. Yeah, the eyeball was the eyeball. Oh, the eye. Okay, whatever. Maybe I'm too zoomed in for the eyeball or something. Might see a golden cross here pretty soon. This could be a pretty nice little pump. And Solana is known for having some really nice moves here. Now, if it does have a pump, I'm not really expecting a bunch of stuff to happen from it. But, you know, getting back up here to 26 from 21.59, that's a pretty good level. That means you're looking at about 23% profit. I'd buy it at that. Let's see how the last one went. Does that match up with the new levels of resistance that we're seeing? Yeah, it matches up a little bit with this one right here. It also matches up with those levels of resistance. Let's go to the daily chart here. Not bad. So it really hasn't had that nice breakout yet, but it looks like it's pretty close. As far as Solana is concerned, though, you're heading for a death cross on the daily, which is not going to be fun. You already had that change of character here that led to some drops in the market. Already had that breakdown there. Breakdown got rejected. I feel like this is what Bitcoin did actually a few weeks ago. Yeah, I might just wait for the breakout really before hopping into this one. Solana is usually pretty volatile, and I don't like it about that. I like it for trading, but not necessarily trying to find the best buying opportunity. I usually follow more simple technicals here, and I just wait for the opportunity to buy. You have higher lows showing up, higher lows here. You're not seeing too much divergence, which is a good thing here. I'm almost looking at a double top actually at this point, triple top actually. You might have the ability to buy this closer to like $21, and I might be more inclined to buy it during that. Let's go over here to the 15-minute chart. About to have that death cross, probably going to come back down here towards 21.31. Maybe just around 21.31, and you might be more inclined to buy around there. Because Bitcoin really hasn't shown anything crazy so far throughout today's daily candle, you might see it come back all the way here to $21. But I would say low 21 would be a good opportunity to buy, and then you're buying it in anticipation for it to try to break out over here. Really though, if you want to be less aggressive, like I would be less aggressive, would probably look to buy this over the next 48 hours or so, because you're either going to have a really large move that takes you to the resistance up here towards 22.38, which if you bought right now is about a 4% move. It's a lot, but it's not like a lot, if that makes sense. I think if you have a leverage account or a futures account, then you could make that play. But if you're just trying to buy for spot, you know, if you're happy with 4%, you're fine with it. If you're looking to hold for a few more weeks, you could try that as well. But your stop loss primarily here, for me, is going to be closer to about, let's just call it $20.50. $20.50 is probably where I would like to sell. And if you're buying that around $21.50, or preferably, hopefully, like the lower 21s, you're looking at 4%, so 4%, 7%. Yeah, I mean, 4% to be 4%. It's not really worth trading, which is why I said, like, you know, maybe we'll just wait for the breakout. Then from the breakout, you can really try to go a little bit higher and try to test out the 25.58 levels, which is more likely to be like a 10% profits, which is I like a lot more than 5%. But I think right now it's fine. Like, let me go over here very fast, and let's go over here to this. Let's go to the weekly chart. Do I have data for this one? This is Binance. Actually, this is a low from 2020. We'll be fine. Five will be fine for now. How does this work out over time? No, 5 is not really looking okay. You see it worked right there. Got rejected right over there. I feel like it's just ever so slightly off. And I wonder if maybe this is just Binance chart isn't what I'm looking for. See if I take the lag off of it. See me the log off of it. It worked right there. Just a little bit of little off in certain sections. Support there. Maybe this one's not too bad. Elbow support. Yeah. I guess it technically hasn't gone up a lot since the days back over here. All right. Damn it. Ever since I started having my mom and sister come over more, my sister's been going out on the balcony and they let flies in here, and I fucking hate flies. Like I'd have every single bug spray you can imagine because I just hate bugs. But seeing bugs on a regular basis, like, it ticks me off slowly. It builds up. So maybe if I go over here, just not so much. Maybe I go over here to the daily chart. Maybe that's just what I'm looking for. No, I still can't get out of that cycle here. Wow, pricking down below us. Yeah, it works. It's just a little bit off, I guess, because it technically follows Bitcoin. I think that's just what I'm irked about at this point. Yeah, hitting there, breakout above, found some. Yeah, okay. You're not really too far away from a lot of stuff here. So I would say you're ready to go if we do have a breakout there above that trend line there. I would say you're fine for buying into it and hoping for about 5-10%. That's like 1 or 2 good days, so don't try to hold for longer than that because usually it kind of consolidates afterwards. Let me go over here to Gann box very fast. Let's go over here very fast. This already has the angle, so it should save me a little time here. And breaking out of an angle or trying to have a confirmation of a breakout of an angle this week. Usually the angles on altcoins are not the best, but you can kind of see if they help out at all. A little bit of resistance, kind of like there's 2 of them. Looks like it's actually a little bit more of a resistance or support. Like right here, you see actually the support right there, but 1 doesn't matter. 1 didn't matter. 1 didn't matter here for either one of those. 2 mattered. Support, that was nice, but 1 didn't really matter there. 1 didn't matter here. I guess that was FTX, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a whole different shitstorm. Little ladders right there. A little bit as far as we love. Yeah, not too much though. Yeah, so I would say really over the next few weeks, you have a good opportunity to hit this zone. Now, the high point of this zone is technically like 47 bucks. Don't even try to go up there. But if you can hit back up here, maybe towards the 27 range, if you want to hold for like weeks, that's a good place to aim for. I mean, I guess technically it'd be like $28.73, so maybe even $29. But for me, being the more conservative guy that I am, I would be more focused on just trading the breakout, holding it for a while after we break out, if we break out. Let it break out above this, above $25, $26, and then from there let it have a larger move. That'd be if we have a good September. Usually, I think somebody just mentioned this a few minutes ago, Septembers are definitely not great for crypto or the stock market overall, but we're kind of in this weird environment where this is still important. Bad news is still good news because of how we're looking at inflation and rate hikes and stuff like that. So bad news is good news right now. So maybe that actually means we're going to have a not a blockbuster September, but just maybe not a catastrophic one where we have some good volatility. And volatility, I think, is something that we all love to have because we can trade it, right? But yeah, oops, and yeah, told you guys Bitcoin was going down. It's been going down for like the last hour and a half we've been talking. What do you think about the BitBoy German? Hey, Brandon, I haven't seen you for a second. Happy to see you back. Okay, so the Bitcoin drama is very awkward and weird, I guess you could say. So from what I understand, BitBoy back in the day, he had his own channel. He owned everything. But then an outside firm came in and said, hey, we want to buy the rights to your channel, the rights to your brand name and all this stuff. We want to own the BitBoy brand. We're going to pay you a shit ton of money, but we're going to own everything. All right. And basically he chose to become an employee, but he was an employee that got paid a shit ton. Okay. So, but I think he still had a percentage of his company. So he wasn't just 100% employee. He was like part employee, part owner. But he didn't hold the majority stake in his company, BitBoy Crypto. So for whatever reason, usually when it comes to this type of stuff, it's like a PR battle. So I don't know if what one side is saying is true versus the other side. The side against him is saying he had substance abuse issues and he had some issues and it was really hurting the brand and they don't want to have the brand be hurt. So he's fired, but BitBoy Crypto is still owned not by BitBoy, but by the other people. Okay. So, so he probably still gets money from these people because he probably still owns a portion of the business. But he can't be part of the show. He's not going to do anything like that. So if you guys look at, blah, 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 blah. BitBoy. I didn't type that in right, but that's okay. Crypto enter. Oh, BitBoy Crypto. Okay. Let's get this. Okay. So you're probably not going to see BitBoy anymore. Like this is probably like right here. BitBoy right there. You're probably not going to see him anymore on this channel. So 1.45 million subscribers. That's not BitBoy right there. 5 hours ago, that's not BitBoy right there. Nope. This guy right here, not BitBoy. So this guy is probably the new face of the channel. He probably has already been on there for a while, but fuck, I don't know who he is. I don't watch BitBoy's channel. But yeah, you're not going to see all these things at BitBoy. All of a sudden, they kind of stopped about like last week or just a few days ago, right? 4 days ago. All of a sudden, no more BitBoy. Now it's this guy, whoever that guy is. But yeah, so that's the thing. We'll figure it out, I guess. It'll be interesting. But as far as I know, you know, there's probably going to be a lawsuit or something. I think BitBoy maybe made some post about it and stuff like that. But I remember going on Twitter today. Maybe it was Twitter. I think his name is Ben. No. I think it was BitBoy. So I think BitBoy, yeah. Yesterday, BJ Investment Holdings. So that's it. That's the company. The parent company of Hit Network took the decisive legal action there in removing Ben Armstrong from the company and specifically the BitBoy crypto brand. Now Ben is BitBoy, so I don't know exactly how they want to, you know, like separate them out because that is maybe they can try to have another BitBoy, but Ben is BitBoy. Like, you know, for all the bad stuff he's done or the good stuff he's done, he's still Ben is BitBoy. So it's gonna be very weird to kind of show that. They had a host a thing earlier today, you know, a space. Like I bet if you go over here to the comments, they're like, I kind of miss this porker. Talk about the elephant in the room. Burnt that bridge, AJ. No one in this space will ever trust you guys again. Free Ben, free BitBoy. My question is, why you not let Ben tell us side of the story? You know, we all want to hear you talk about what happened with Ben. We don't need to hear about this stuff. Ben, crypto adoption coin, you know, like, you know, so it's big stuff basically happening here. And then, you know, they're still posting, but Ben doesn't actually run this this Twitter account, right? So another company does. And so where is the real BitBoy? No one gives a crap about the channel without Ben. Let's just be clear. I was watching him before y'all came around. So again, he had a channel. He sold kind of the rights to it for a while, for the rights to it. And so yeah, we want BitBoy. So maybe if I even went over here to Social Blade. Loki just jumped on the sofa. He's like, hey, what you doing? you know, over the next few months, maybe you see a decreased number of views. Right now, they should probably be a little bit higher since all this drama is going around about it. But yeah, it'd be curious to see what actually happens. Because this channel makes a shit ton of money. They're sponsored by a crypto gambling site. You know how much money crypto gambling sites pay? They pay like this is a multi-million-dollar deal that they got with them. Okay. Or a large bang. Hopefully nothing happened upstairs. But what do you call? You know, it's that type of stuff that's gonna hurt their channel for a while here to come. I don't exactly know what really happened. We'll never know. But the fact that they're trying to be so hush-hush and not even talk about it, it's not going to bode well for them. Eventually, the pressure builds and you just have to talk about it. And by then, everybody's so pissed off that you didn't say anything for so long that they're not going to accept anything you say. So they just need to come out and say it and, you know, lay it out with a nice explanation, a full video of it, and not just like, hey, yeah, they got to go out. But I don't know at the end of the day. Hey, Gus. Gus is AMC is probably just something you want to be very careful of. This sucker has been coming down for a while. I mean, just look at that. From what we talked about yesterday, if you want to buy, this is the opportunity to buy, but the risk is so high that you just have to be very, 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 very careful. Like even buying options at this point is going to be so hard because of the volatility going on. Like if I go over here, AMC, you know, there's a filter on this. Oh, this is stuff that expires over the next few weeks. You know, 1050 call price, the implied volatility 136%, 187%, 148%, 160%, 198, 200%. You know, it's going to be very hard to make some profit off of it. But if you want to, you know, honestly, I say usually you want to just kind of copy a large player here, like this guy right here. He bought this today. Let me go over here. Let me just find the charts. Like what's happened since he bought it. He bought it for $1. It's now down to 75 cents. He's 25% down, and all it took was one whole day. So, you know, it's it's just so risky. Now again, a few more days, it may come back up from 75 cents and it may hit $5. That's the craziness of AMC. That's why people buy into it. But the volatility for out of the money plays are just going to be out of this world. Maybe if I go back over here and look for historical for you very fast. Everything that was bought from last Monday to today. Okay. Now you see $4 strike push put. All the money's at $4 put, $4 put, $3.50, $3.50, $4, $3, $5, $3. Yeah, all the big money, it was actually is being placed on puts. Oh my god. Implied volatility 242%. So I mean, like, let's go to the big one. $1.88 million premium. It was bought 8/22, so a while ago. So we can click on the chart and we can see what's happened since then. They bought it for $1.88, and even with the drop over the past few days, it's still at $1.87. They've actually lost money on this because the implied volatility is so crazy. Okay, so and it actually had a spike all the way up here to 260, right? The implied volatility is just killing this because again, it's been falling down, right? It's been falling down over the past week. They bought it last week, and they haven't made any money off of it. So you got to be very careful if you're going into options right here. And I'm betting that has something to do with the split that we just saw. Let me see if there's anything else here. What's the lowest implied volatility? 168, 170, 70, 160. Here's one for 160, expires 9/15, 95K, 250 put, 250. Wow. They bought at 48 cents. It's now at 61 cents. There you go. I mean, the lowest volatility usually does well because it means the price can actually move a little bit more. Puts are where it's at. apparently. I would have them expire at 9:15 or later if you want to go in there, but probably going to keep on coming down. Probably just going to keep on coming down. Nothing about this looks good right now. It's trying to hold. You can see right here, trying and trying and trying. It broke down below it for a second, but once that breakdown is maybe confirmed, you just $2 strike price, $3 strike price, see what you can find. But man, everybody is betting over apparently the last week that we're going to continue to drop. Like this poor guy, 9/1 expiration. He bought this 8/25, so that's last week. He bought it for $1. It's currently at 13 cents, you know, so just be careful with it. Any money that you invest in this as far as an options play, just be okay with it if it goes to 0. Don't even bother putting a stop loss. It'll make you a lot of money or it'll make no money. If it doesn't do anything for a while, then just sell it and take back whatever little profit or little loss you had here. But what do you call But Big Boy's channel, I mean, it's not dead yet. It's still getting a bunch of views. People are going to watch it because there's a lot of drama going on. Now, it's not making as much money as it used to, that's for sure. But, you know, it's a business. They're going to keep on pumping stuff out. Again, they're getting paid by, stake. So they got tons of cash to kind of burn on this type of stuff. So we'll see what happens with them. And as far as Bitcoin miners, I don't really buy Bitcoin miners. Let me check it. Let me check it out. Bazinga. So you got Mara, you got Riot. If anything, these are the only two I've really come across in the past that I've really actually traded, but it's been more of options trading on these. If you're looking for something to hold long term, let me see. I don't know. I'd probably just look at this website right here, Bazinga. I'm not an expert on mining stocks, to be frank. I mean, this market cap is at $65 million. It's very, very, like tiny. I'd probably say the best thing you can do with any of these is probably just to buy all of them bit by bit. Like Riot Platforms, that's $2.27 billion. That's quite a bit. I might allocate a small portion of my portfolio into this and then just dollar cost average a bit every week. You know, a bit this week, a bit next week, a bit after that, but only small amounts, so kind of over time it adds up to be something greater. But yeah, I'm not an expert in this, so I don't want to like just tell you to buy something, but this is Riot, I know. Mara, I know. BT, don't know about anything about it. Hut 8 Mining, I've heard about it, but I don't really know much about it. And Argo Blockchain, it's at $65 million market cap, so I kind of want to buy it just because it has such a tiny market cap. But yeah, that's something I'd be probably looking into myself. All right, but okay, buddy, I'm going to end the stream right now. It's been a good hour and a half talking with you guys, almost 2 hours. I got to go make some food for everybody upstairs since the family's visiting. But have a good rest of your night. Watch out for Bitcoin. You'll probably have another good opportunity to buy some more over the next few hours. Hopefully you guys aren't asleep, but you'll probably have a good opportunity there. Have a good night, and Loki says goodbye if he can pop up here. You guys can see his tail. Loki, there you go. Come here. Yo, show go.